What up, YouTube? It's your man, Beefy Big Guns, dude. We out here! Ooh! And it feels good. I think every gardener has had the time where they just feel inundated by zucchinis. They're everywhere when they get going. You can't stop them. One every day. The zucchini fairy shows up. Oh shoot, found that one in the back there. Every day with them, they never stop. You just get inundated by them. It's a good problem to have. We grew up on zucchini bread. The zucchini bread is a straight 10 out of 10. Best zucchini bread in the world. So good. I cannot wait for the face hit tonight. We're gonna take these to grandma camp, get at least probably 4 loaves. I'd say we got enough zucchini for all that. You get to this time in the summer where you got the nice days, the blue skies, the puffy clouds, the north breeze. The AC goes off in our house. Open up the windows. Opportunity to use the oven, because energy wars. And I'd also just like to point out almost everything you see me do, if I can, it's green and gold, baby, till I'm dead and cold. Oh, I just can't wait to show you this recipe. I just can't wait to hear feedback from people when they try the recipe, because they're gonna be like, Beefy, thank you so much. It's not my recipe, got it from my mom, but it's time to share it with the world. It's too good to continue to hold behind locked doors. Let's go. Let us not be mistaken, for today, your man is bacon. We got zucchinis everywhere. It's time to grind some of these suckers up and make them into food. You get some big, fresh zucchinis from the garden. Knock off top and bottom. We got so much of this stuff, you just don't even take time with it. Just go. Grind it up. Oven's preheating to 350. Grater box works wonders for this. I like the nice shreddy zucchini. Any kind of summer squash would work for this recipe. Ow.
You okay?
Yeah, I think I might have just cut myself. Anyway, what I was about to say is that this recipe calls for about 3 cups of zucchini. We will definitely put more in it if we have extra, which is definitely the case tonight. Get that green and gold zucchini just perfectly shoestringed. Bread recipe itself makes 2 loaves in loaf pans, so be aware of that. Alright, we're going to start throwing this thing together. What we have there is 2/3 of a cup of butter. It's roughly 13 tablespoons. Into that we're adding 2 2/3 cup sugar, 4 eggs. Shout out to Megan and Tech for supplying the eggs for us. They're great. And 2/3 cup of water. And then what we're going to do is drop the mixer in, lock her down, and cream that sugar into that butter and liquid. It's going to make a big soupy mess. Stir that until it's really thoroughly beat apart. So now that that is all mixed up, the next thing we're going to do is start adding the dry ingredients. This is 3 1/3 cups flour. The recipe calls for wheat flour. We found that you can use all-purpose flour too, just fine. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cloves, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I always get more in there than that, because I'm a vanilla whore. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now we're going to drop that and mix it up really good. While that's going over there, a couple of loaf pans, get some parchment paper, stuff it down in there. It'll push into the corners when we dump in the batter. 3 cups of zucchini go in. I had the dry measure cup kind of packed tight and then heaping just a little bit. A lot of this stuff is subjective, you know, how tight you're going to pack it and stuff like that. In this instance, I packed it down a little tight and then heaped it up a little bit. And then we just fold in the zucchini. Just for the record, out of those 2 zucchinis that I shredded up earlier, that's how much I took to use 3 cups of it. I'm opening up the oven, putting in the pans 350 for an hour. I'll give them a spin about halfway through the process. Woo! She's warm in there. It's okay, they're gonna come out looking nice and caramely like that on top. That's how they're supposed to look. They look pretty solid. But we gotta test them. Best thing you can do to test them is to just take a chopstick and run it in. And if it comes out nice and clean like that, then it's probably done. Those both look pretty clean to me. Yep, I'm gonna leave it. If you mess up the bake, don't worry about it. And that sounds weird because baking is a fickle thing. If you over bake it and it gets dry, use it for French toast. Soak it in eggs and griddle it. Oh, it's so good. If you under bake it a little bit and it's a little bit soft in the middle still, just cut it into chunks, put it in the toaster oven. Butter on it when it comes out. Oh my God, what? You never had nothing like that. I just gave you the entire spectrum of zucchini bread, from, hey, I underbaked this, all the way to too dry. There's stuff to do with it. Use it up. You're trying to tell me you don't want some of that? If you're asking me, there's literally nothing better in the world than this bread right out of the oven. You can store this stuff really easy in the freezer. Wrap it up a bunch of times in saran wrap, throw it in the freezer. Can't wait for this. Time for the face hit. Give me that end gate with all the extra crunch on it. Man, I love that. It's so good. It's unbelievable. This recipe's 10 out of 10. You don't believe me? Don't try it. Doesn't matter. For me, I'm going to continue to eat this for the rest of my life. We out here. Catch you on the next one.